What's up, savages? Terrence Pop here with another episode of Live from the Lair. And if you show up here, you better have thick skin or grow some thick skin, because we're going to be slinging around a lot of truth bombs today, talking about all of these crazy conflicts that are creeping up. And maybe it's because we have 8 billion people on this goddamn planet, and we're nothing but a bunch of evil, hairless monkeys who really love torturing and murdering each other. Winning? No. Now, Blake's not here today. He's got some personal stuff he's got to take care of. So I got Steve on the line, and we got Jimmy working backstage.
What's going on, everybody?
All right. So if this is your first time watching the show, I'm a 33. I did 33 years in the military, 21 active rest guard reserve time, infantry soldier, airborne paratrooper, airborne ranger, forged in the fires of the regiment, and then I moved on to be a Green Beret. I was also cross-trained in civil affairs, psyops, and intelligence. So I went to intel school, bro. What are you talking about? Yeah. Anyway, the thing is, we are being deceived and lied to on a massive scale that I believe has never existed in all of history, at least to the point where we start writing shit down. It is absolutely insane. And if you're believing a lot of these stories because you're looking at them and believing them on face value, I'm going to have to give you the goddamn knife hand and tell you to unfuck your goddamn thinking meat and stop being one-dimensional or two-dimensional fucking thinker and think outside the goddamn box, because that's where you live. The one- and two-dimensional dudes, they walked those guys off a fucking cliff, and the Soviets called them useful idiots. I don't like that term, and I don't want anyone in my preview or sphere of influence to remain in that way of thinking. It is unhealthy. It takes you nowhere except a downward spiral to the scene of the crash. All right, let's get this started.
One hell of a way to start the show.
My army rant, and I gave him a goddamn knife hand.
Mm-hmm. Well, Pops asked me onto the show the last couple of times, and for those of you who don't know who or what I am, my nickname in the Army was Battle Dwarf because I'm short and I can carry a lot of things. I'm Operator 6, second-class citizen. I'm also Steve. I'm a former spook. I did the real deal for 6 years, and I'm going to help with unfucking your thinking meat on a lot of these topics. That's part of the reason Pop brought me along. So without further ado, let's fuck this pig.
We're getting censored. You know,
we're totally getting.
We're going to get demonetized on the stream.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Had a little bit of a snafu there. Apparently, we had 2 live streams going on YouTube here.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, they had the 304 Guide to Extortion playing again on us. Wow. Thanks to the guys in the chat for mentioning that to me.
You gonna shut one of those down?
I got the 304 guide shut down, so we should be good to go now.
Wow.
Hopefully.
How did that Murphy, man?
That's weird.
It's all right. Now listen.
Heard that.
Listen, guys like my buddy Steve and I, because of what we did, we're on lists. It's just plain and simple.
Oh, I've had them come to my door.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So how many languages do you speak, Steve?
I speak 6 that I can absolutely function in, 3 fluently, and bits and pieces of about 21 different languages. But that's what happens when you go to the Presidio, the language school out in California.
Also, let's be honest. If you're good at foreign languages like he is, he's an artsy-fartsy thinker. He can't do math for shit, which is hilarious.
I can inexplicably do the trigonometry to call in an artillery strike, but that's probably because I don't want to die.
Yeah. Listen, life and death is definitely a good motivator. I'm just going to say that.
Healthy motivator.
All right, let's hit the first one here. Which we're going to do?
Where are we going? We're going to start with Israel.
Okay.
Let's do that
All
there.
right. Now Israel is the size of Brooklyn, you were saying?
No, the Gaza area is roughly the size of Brooklyn.
Oh, the Gaza area. Okay.
So, for those of you who don't understand what's going on over in Israel, let me back up a little tiny bit. This started back in 1916, effectively. World War I is going on. The powers that be, everybody's killing each other. Kaiser in Germany, you've got Britain. The United States has not yet entered the fray, and the Jews that live in Europe, they're getting uncomfortable, so they want to move to Palestine because there's a movement called Zionism that started in 1897 by a guy named Theodor Herzl, where they all decided that they needed to go to Palestine, and that's where they were from. So England, the Crown of England, offers up Palestine to the Jewish population of Europe through then Lord Rothschild in exchange for Lord Rothschild having his friend Martin Brandeis, the Supreme Court Justice, talking Roosevelt into getting America into World War I. We previously were not engaged. 93% of the population had no interest in being engaged in World War I.
Correct.
At that time.
Yes. So indirectly, all of the individuals from America who were slain in World War I paid the mortgage for Israel.
325,000 Americans. So here's the thing, and people are going to say all sorts of stuff about this, and I don't really care. These are historical facts. Feel free to look them up. Most of the stuff that I get for this particular topic, I go to the Jewish Library for, which is where I'm going for this portion here. The Kingdom of Israel only existed from 1030 BC to 930 BC. It was only a kingdom for 100 years. That's 930 BC. That's 3,000 years ago, kids.
That's like a fart in a windstorm.
Right.
That's not a lot of time.
Meanwhile, everybody else is living there, and everybody else included the Palestinians. After Muhammad shows on the scene in 690 AD, the Muslims show up there. The Christians had been there the whole time. There's Greek colonies all along the Lebanon and those areas. Those were still there. Anyway, Lord Rothschild and the British Crown strike a deal, and a man named Arthur James Balfour authors this. And I will put the words of the declaration on the screen here. This is the entire thing.
Have you shared this? Or
it's shared right now.
It's shared right now? Okay.
It's shared right now. Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you on behalf of His Majesty's government the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet. That would be the British government. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object. Pay attention to the next sentences very carefully. It being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation, founded by Theodor Herzl. Yours, Arthur James Balfour. So that is how we got to where we are today with the Israel situation. It was literally gifted to them through Lord Rothschild by the British Crown. I have seen people shriek up, down, and sideways. Oh, that's anti-Semitism. It's a historical document, dude. I didn't create it.
That's right.
I'm sorry. It just is.
We're just throwing the truth darts at the dartboard, and people standing by are getting upset saying we're cheating.
So two old soldiers sat here talking about this before the show came on. We both are of the same opinion, and we didn't talk about this beforehand. We don't care about who's going to win here. We just don't want us involved in it anymore. Our money, our blood, our treasure, our people. But what's going on right now is Israel is basically violating the Balfour Declaration, which gave them Israel, by chasing out all of the Palestinians. Are the Palestinians assholes and they kill a lot of people and they've killed a lot of Jews? Yes, there's no question there.
Yes.
It's indisputable. But what we have right now, and the Israelis have, you can find video of them singing in the streets, basically, to paraphrase, let's just genocide the Gazans.
Are you talking the Israelis? Genocide the
The
Israelis.
Israelis are saying, let's genocide the Gazans in the
Yeah.
street. There's tons of video of it.
Yeah. Well, and both sides are crying for some kind of genocide.
Yes.
And the scary thing is right now is there's a huge underpinning support for the Palestinian side here in America, to the fact we saw it up there with University of Pennsylvania
Yes.
and Harvard, right? They were actually questioned, I believe, in front of the Senate in regards to their policy on bullying. And, they were talking about Gaza will be free, something or other to the sea. And they're like, then they fall back. Well, it depends upon the context. In the meantime, if you refuse to go along with somebody's delusion that they have an imaginary vagina or penis, that's bullying.
Yeah, that's just the screwiest
All
thing
right.
I've ever
Now,
heard of.
This is what's going to really start happening here. It's a wake-up call to the Jewish community, right? Now, for those of you that don't know, those individuals give a lot of money to foundations, schools, and whatnot to keep, everything up and running. That is going to dry up because of this. And
What
I
was it?
cannot wait to see it happen, because I'm sick and tired of our almost entire school system. From you walk in as a poopy butt booger eater, and then when you get your master's degree, every single step along the way, indoctrination. And here's the really fucked up part. You want to go to college, you take out a bunch of loans. You are literally going to be paying interest on those loans for 2/3 of an education that was not necessary. It was nothing but indoctrination.
Yep.
So if you get out of school and you have a $60,000 debt, 2/3 of that debt is not necessary because you were taught bullshit, or better yet, how to be a 1 or 2-dimensional thinker. Useful idiot. There you go.
That's a how to broach the delicate subject of reality. You have to go back and look at some of the major schools: Harvard, Yale, even Eton in the United Kingdom. University of Michigan is a dreadful one for it.
Oh my God. So is Michigan State.
One of your favorite topics, Pop, the feminists. Unfortunately, a lot of what brought all of this diversity of suicide bombers to our country was the Jewish feminist movement.
Yes.
And again, people will try to ding me for that, but just go back.
Let's just call it DIE.
Yeah.
Not DEI.
What was the one we found like 10 years ago? When the Scum Society for Cutting Up Men.
Yes.
And that was entirely run by Jewish feminists who were a strong 2 in the dark on a full bottle of whiskey.
Yep.
All of them. And we looked at it, we're like, why is this so? And then here we are now with all of this stuff. They created their own shitstorm.
Yes.
But now we've got the protests in the schools. There were 500 people in the streets in Royal Oak, Michigan the other day.
Yeah, that's like what, six miles from here?
Yeah. 500 people in the street protesting for Palestine and Gaza in the street in Royal Oak, which used to be a nice, quiet little town.
Well, no, hang on. In the 80s, it was a motorcycle town. It was kind of rough.
It was still comparatively
compared to Detroit, it was clean.
But here's the thing. The guy I was talking to who was telling me this, he says that there was a contingent of full-blown trannies out there protesting for Palestine, and he's standing, this guy's a boxer, you probably like him, Justin, saying, what are you doing protesting for? They're going to throw you off a fucking building, right? They're going to throw you off a building.
What's
wrong with you?
That's exactly what's going to happen. And that is the perfect example of a useful idiot.
God.
Yep.
Perfect.
Well, that and what was it? Gays for Gaza. They shut down the Manhattan Bridge earlier today or yesterday.
All right, let's hit
levels of stupid.
let's hit the next one. The next Israel one.
Criminal.
This is
Where do we got? Where's the
there's that one. You
Israel.
covered that one.
Is this showing up on the screen? That's what part of what I'm doing here. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so that little green area that you can see on the screen there on the right-hand side, that's the contested area. And it's about the size of Brooklyn.
Yep.
And this is what they're fighting over. It touches Egypt at the southwestern corner there. And the rest of it is on the Mediterranean. That they're fielding an entire modern army against that, and the people inside there basically have sticks. And yeah, they make homemade rockets and stuff like that, but it's a homemade rocket.
Yes.
They're not very. I've seen,
and 20% of them fail.
Right. Yeah, I've seen some of that. I was in North Africa for a very short time and saw some of that action, and it's almost kind of comical. It's like when we used to go into the woods when we were kids with sticks and fight. Mm-hmm. It's a lot like that, except they kill people from time to time.
Yeah, so the Brooklyn is 69.5 miles squared.
Yeah.
So our whole world is on the verge of basically neutralizing 80% of our population if it evolves to World War III scenario over a piece of dirt that is 65 fucking miles squared.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yep.
Now, listen, I'm not on anyone's side here. I really don't care.
Yes.
The only thing I care about is I'm sick and tired of having to pay for this bullshit. We were at war for over 20 goddamn years, burned through an assload of treasure for nothing, and now we're burning through more treasure, giving it away to other countries to defend themselves. I'm sick and tired of being the financier for the world. I'm sick and tired of coming to everyone's fucking aid. I'm fucking tired of being the police force for the fucking world.
I'm tired of putting our buddies in the dirt for it, too.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. And I just found that out today before the show started. He read me the part in regards to a British lord cut a backdoor deal that basically helped the United States get into the big scuffle.
Yeah.
And 300,000 servicemen who perished paid the mortgage for Israel to exist.
Yeah. Let me put that there on the screen one more time. Here's the Balfour Declaration. Here's the entire wording of it. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object. It being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. That's how this all got started.
Yeah.
That's how the Jews hadn't lived in their, let me rephrase that. There hadn't been an Israel since 930 BC.
Correct.
And this is just reality. I mean, this just is what it is what it is.
And here's another thing that
here's the historical facts.
Now, here's the thing that wipes my ass with sandpaper about this whole thing. All right. Jerusalem and the Holy Land have been highly contested for 3,000 years.
More like 5, but yeah.
Well, I'm just going back 2,000 years, 3,000 years.
Fine. Yep.
And it got even worse when they put a certain individual on a cross and nailed him on there until he died. And then it really went crazy because now you had Christianity there going against the Muslims. Now, listen. If you want to live in a highly contested land, you probably should be able to guard and defend it your fucking self.
Yeah.
Again, I'm tired of paying for it. I'm tired of American servicemen, basically giving the ultimate price or paying the ultimate price for people to have the privilege of living in the Holy Land.
Yeah, this, as far as I'm concerned, this goes with any war zone right now.
Correct.
Anywhere that our troops are deployed for no reason whatsoever. What are we doing in Africa? What are we doing in
Yeah.
Okay, there's some areas in South America where we should really be, but they need to take our gloves off.
Yes, and we had that big droning thing happen in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we in Nigeria?
Yep.
What the fuck is going on? Why can we, as the American public, not know where our troops are stationed and why they are there?
Yep.
Now, listen, I'm a spec op guy. I understand. Maybe there's, a group of fucking bad motherfuckers in some country, say country X.
Sure.
All right. We contact the guys who run country X and we say, hey, you got some bad people on board and we would like to assist you in taking care of that. That happens. And I understand that, but it shouldn't be the norm. It should be the exception.
Hang on a minute here, Darth Hideous. Whoa, did Blake put on weight? Hey, screw you, fruitcake.
Hey, man, like I said in the beginning of the show, either you have thick skin or you need to grow it.
I'm not fat. I'm well grounded. Anyway, continue with what you were saying. Guys here, we got to do something with them.
With what?
Finish what you were saying.
You knocked me off the kilter, man.
Sorry I knocked you off the kilter, but let me continue where you were saying, because we did exactly what you're talking about. We were the guys who did the intelligence packets. This was my job when I was in the
Army.
In the Army. Yeah, doing that Army thing that we did. We worked up the intelligence to call in the Green Beret teams to go after stuff like this. We traced the North Koreans from obviously North Korea, China, Thailand, India, parts of North Africa, Algeria, and Libya, all the way to frickin' Bolivia, where they were moving drug money so that they could gravitationally challenge the battle tour. Fuck you, meatball! I'm fat. I know it. Leave me alone. That's what we did, was track these guys, and we did it often. We did it through a whole lot of countries. And then once we pinned them to a spot, we would call in guys like Pop and say, hey, we either need to introduce this guy to the inside of a sandbag or the inside of a pine box. And that happened. What was it? Jeez, oh, Pete, 6 years after I got out, my daughter's in school. She makes a friend. I go over to the friend's house, meet her dad. He was one of the NCOs at freaking X-Ray at Guantanamo Bay. And he and I started talking, and I sent him some of his customers at the Gray Bar Hotel there in Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we had a long conversation. We matched up dates and times. We were like, oh, yeah, I think I did that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, those guys were okay. They behaved.
Well, but here's the thing, though. I mean, we've got spec ops, right? Before 9/11, you had the Special Forces, you had CAG, which is Delta, and then you had SEAL Team 6. Now you got Marine Raiders.
Yeah.
Right. They've added extra battalions to the Ranger battalions.
When did they do that?
I think about 8-10 years ago. Yeah. It's their support battalions where, if you can't quite cut the mustard, but you have a useful job, you go there. And they've expanded the drones, the satellites. I mean, all the other craziness that goes along with that is exponentially just increased. And after that's being said, is anyone out there shocked that the Department of Defense failed their 6th fucking audit?
Yeah.
And you want to know why they're failing these audits? Because the money is going into black ops. And to be honest, there needs to be some supervision over our tax dollars and the way they're spent.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Our tax dollars were paying for a gain-of-function lab in China that went under the radar until that caused a fucking plague that basically froze the entire planet's economy for 2+ years.
I'm under a bunch of NDAs, but I can say as much as what Pop is saying is entirely correct. And a lot of your tax dollars get misspent overseas.
Yeah. And
that's about as far as I can go with the NDAs.
And listen, I too am under a couple of NDAs, especially for South America stuff. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but
money gets spent poorly.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, war is expensive for a reason. Because you're asking people to do things that are unnatural. It is unnatural to go and forward into combat. It is unnatural to deal with that kind of shit. And to coerce people into doing that costs fucking money. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
All right. And we need to have some oversight on our tax goddamn dollars. I'm sick of it.
Yep.
Well,
It's kind of interesting that a country that takes in, what is it, around $4 trillion in taxes annually is almost about $34 trillion in debt.
Correct. And a lot of that is, let's be honest, the defense budget is, in my opinion, very high. But the social programs,
high.
the social programs we have is sucking us dry on top of that.
Yes.
I mean, come on. Let's move on to the next one.
Oh man. Oh crap! I didn't pull up the Ukraine links. Hang on one second.
Okay.
Talk some more. Well, I'm doing this because I pulled a stupid. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, we're going to be moving on to Ukraine now. All the supporters on Sunday, we covered most of this, and you got my take on it. Now, we're going to do it again, and I'm going to, repeat my take. But now we have another subject matter expert here to confirm that more than likely I am on the right path here.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to start us off in the fact that it is now winter in the Ukraine. And if you've ever been to any part of the world that's anything remotely like that, it is a real kick in the balls. You'll freeze to death in minutes in these places. They are not a joke. Life in Russian-controlled areas of the Ukraine is grim. People are fleeing through a dangerous corridor. They're talking about Kharkiv. They're talking about the Kherson. They're talking about the Donbass regions that are along the border that Russians controlling right now.
Yep.
What did I do with it, Pop? Where did I put that?
Which one?
The map that with the link that I sent you, because I ate a large bowl of stupid flakes for breakfast this morning.
Well, first of all, he's new here, so he's trying to get.
I am trying to get caught up.
New guy.
I think I got it right here, Steve.
I got it.
You found it.
You got it? All righty.
I got it.
There it is.
Yeah, there we go. Sure.
It's off Gab
instead. So, can we see this image okay? Can we see that image okay?
Yeah,
the only part you really need to be paying attention to are the two pink portions and the two red portions. Those are the areas that the Russians are controlling right now along their border. The one way down at the bottom in the south down there, that's where Odessa and their ports, their deep water ports for the Ukraine are. Russia's controlling that at the moment.
The Crimea.
The Crimea.
Yep.
And that's been a contested region for 2,000 years.
Yep.
First of all, Ukraine was only formed in 1991. It's only been a country since 1991. Pop and I looked that up earlier today. And the regions that are contested from the top to the bottom, the pink, the red, and then the two more pink there, those areas are full of native Russian-speaking peoples. The Ukrainians had been bombing them for 8 years before this war started.
Yes.
Which is basically what started all of this.
Well, hang on. Remember the Azov battalions too?
The Azov battalions as well. But
they were doing some genocide Nazi shit down there.
Yes. So these guys, these Russians that are living in these areas, they want to secede to Russia. And the Ukraine doesn't want to let go of those territories because there is stuff like gas and minerals and things like that, resources, wood, hardwoods, that sort of thing in there. The Russians want to take it back, so they form up battalions. Pop and I looked at these battle maps about 2 years ago, I think it was. We looked at the battle maps, and both of us came to the same conclusion. It wasn't an invasion force. They were positioned to cut off those regions and take those over. The Russians didn't use any of their heavy strategic bombers in deep Ukraine territory. They didn't try to force any large groups of troops like real serious armor or infantry past any of these regions here.
Well, they did try to take Kiev.
They bombed the crap out of it,
and they failed miserably.
I don't think they tried to take it. I think they bombed the crap out of it to draw Ukrainian resources away from these areas.
Okay, yeah.
That's my assessment of the battle map at that time.
All right.
But they did get a pretty good ass handing in there.
Well, this is the problem with the Russian military right now. In the beginning, when this whole thing kicked off, they were trying to copy our brigade combat team concept that we use here in the West. But they don't have enough money to train that properly. So they thought they were a brigade combat, working as brigade combat teams, plural, But in reality, it was just a huge goat screw, and they paid a horrific price because of that. Now we're seeing the Russian army fall back onto the old doctrine that, Steve and I know like the back of our hand, which is the classic ground and pound.
Broken Pine over here, Russians have committed only 20% of their forces to this battle. We're going to touch on exactly that in just a minute, Broken Pine. Somebody else said most of the Ukraine industries are in the Russian occupied areas. That is also true. Here's the thing. I watched a lot of the video that came out from the drones on the Ukraine offensives, and I don't know if you watched any of this video, Pop, but we would send them armor. The Brits sent them armor. The Germans sent them tanks. They were using that armor in the open without any air support and without any infantry support.
And what happens?
All that makes you is the duck at the freaking county fair that goes across back and forth on the metal beam, and you got the rifle and you're ping, ping.
That's exactly.
You can't put armor on the field without support. It's not what armor does.
First of all, if you're using armor without infantry support, you're a goddamn idiot.
Yes.
All right, and listen,
tanks are metal magnets.
The infantry is, historically, infantry is usually 2 to 3, sometimes 500 meters in front of the armor, doing the infantry thing. They run into a sticky situation, call up the tank comes, boom, 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 and then it continues. And you have to protect your tanks because it's a fucking moving artillery piece.
Yes.
And that comes in real handy for bunkers, other tanks, fortified buildings, going over trenches, running through barbed wire, and destroying obstacles so you can complete your military objective efficiently with the minimal level of people getting evicted from their meat suits.
Yeah, Anonymous makes a good point here. Russian Air Force has been operating pretty freely for months, and that's huge. If you can take an airspace in modern day warfare, you've pretty much got.
You've won everything.
You've got the battlefield.
Yes.
You just can't operate armor by itself. You can't operate infantry by itself. You can't even operate air by itself. Air operating by itself is just guys dropping bombs, and then everything goes back to normal after they leave.
Because if you want to, listen, if you want to actually own the property, you got to put boots on the ground.
Yes.
It's just that simple.
Yeah, 110%.
You are never, ever, at least, in the next upcoming century, that is going to still apply.
Yeah.
In 100 years from now, with the way our technology is advancing, I can't even predict, even if we live that long.
I personally am of the opinion that we are at a peak in technology where people are going to start shunning it.
Yeah.
They're going to start walking away from, because it's like too much technology now.
Well, I'm going to have to. Well, we're seeing the same effect in the dating apps.
Yeah.
It has corrupted everyone's fucking mind and moved everyone to 2 different sides of the whole mating spectrum that we're literally going to collapse because there aren't any babies being born.
Yeah. And at the same time, there's a lot of articles in the press. They're stunned that, boy, have we gone down the rabbit hole here. They're stunned that the whole trad wife thing is taking off.
I know. But hey, let's back it up now.
Back it up.
Back it up. That's a whole other subject, the trad wife. We're going to have to do a show on that one.
Shift fire.
We're going to have to do it. I'm writing that down. Trad wife.
So CNN, by the way, there it is. There's the CNN.
Here we go.
I want to do this article here instead. This is great.
You're not going to believe this. This is actually insane.
CNN is saying that somebody over here in the chat on Rumble said Russia has only committed 20% of its forces, which is true. CNN says that they have an intelligence leak from inside our intelligence world, which I can tell you right now is a load of crap. Okay, absolute load of crap.
Yeah.
If it is, it's some officer trying to get his glory.
Well, first of all,
and land a job.
I still know lots of guys in the service, and I ask them questions like this. And if it's classified, they will not answer.
Yes.
All I do is point me to a news article, open source.
Yeah, look at this.
And look at this, and I could figure it out by reading it myself.
Yeah. Russia has lost 87% of the troops it had prior to the start of the Ukraine war. Guys, so
Okay, the only way that could be possible is if nuclear warheads were involved.
yes.
And I don't know about you, but Western doctrine, if you have a force that's lost 50% casualties, it's combat ineffective.
You're combat ineffective. You don't even get to retool. You
No.
don't get to go to the rear and reassemble those battalions. You're just no good anymore. So Pop and I looked at that and we're like 87%. That's a lot of crack in the crack pipe there. So we went and looked at the most recent battle in that area of the same scale. And that battle is Operation Barbarossa, World War II. We went back and looked, and the Germans committed 3.5 million troops to that fight.
Correct.
They lost 750,000 to combat deaths, injuries, weather.
Weather got most of them.
Weather got most of them.
About 60% of them.
That's still only 31% of that force. And 31% rendered the Germans ineffective. There's no way the Russians have lost 87%.
No, that is, let's just put this into perspective. Operation Barbarossa went on for the entirety of World War II.
Yes.
And it marched back and forth into Russian territory and Ukrainian territory. I think they called it Yugoslavia back then. The Sudeten lands. And it went back and forth. And there were thousands of tanks on both sides.
Yeah.
Aircraft on both sides. Yeah, there wasn't the whiz-bang technology, but a bomb is still a bomb. A bullet is still a bullet.
That was when the Russians developed the T-34.
Yes,
I think it was.
The T-34 tank.
And the thing that made the T-34 terrifying was the Russians were able to crank them out at an incredible pace.
Yes.
You could blow up one T-34 and literally like the Hydra from Greek mythology.
There'd be six
There's
more.
6 more behind it.
Correct.
And you blow those 6 up and damn it, there's 18.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
And it was one of the most effective and terrifying tank productions in history. But like we're saying, there's no way that the Ukrainians wiped out 87% of the Russian military. That's asinine.
Well, let's say, what's the word we're looking for? It's bullshit. 100% bullshit. You are being lied to. That's 100% propaganda.
Yeah, that's absolutely propaganda.
All right.
So what did we give Ukraine today in cash money?
What, Jimmy? What was that?
It was a $200 million military aid package from today,
and that's probably going to come in the form of artillery shells and missile support and other smaller scale systems. Because if it was more than that, then there'd be a lot bigger bunch of weapons being handed over.
Well, this comes at a price to us that people aren't even aware of. My buddy Rob texted me while I was at work today and said, yeah, you might want to take a look at this because where did this go?
Unfuck your life.
Vista, unfuck yourself. Vista Ammunition. Does that sound right?
Yes.
So they donated 11 million rounds to the Ukraine the other day.
Yeah.
11 million rounds. Right after they donated 11 million rounds of ammunition to Ukraine, you know what they did? They released an article that said 2024 ammo shortage and substantial price increases.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did was give all of the ammo that's been manufactured in the last couple of months, year or so, to Ukraine. Here, have some ammo. It'll be great. And now you're going to pay out the nose for that as
to be
well.
Replaced.
Yep.
Now listen. Historically, we have sent weapons to other countries.
Yeah.
But they have most of the weapons have a shelf life. If we have a bunch of 155 rounds that have been around, I think it's 12 to 15 years, and they're gonna either blow them up or recycle them, or they can hand them off to another country to use because most of them will still work.
Yeah. The round itself, that's pretty eternal, isn't it?
No, there's a shelf life on everything.
Is there?
Yes. Oh, yes.
So the integrity of the round is just compromised at a certain point. You just have to get rid of it.
It's not that it becomes inert; it becomes less predictable of what it's going to do.
I mean the solid part of the round, not the propellant or anything like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, the case is fine as long as
Yeah.
it's not rusted up or anything. But
Yeah.
you know, the C4 propellant, all of that.
Yeah.
Are chemicals that degrade.
Oh yeah. The chemicals would absolutely degrade.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those of you out there who have ammo and weapons, you should all have ammo and weapons. You should all have ammo and weapons. Every one of you should have ammo and weapons.
Correct.
The price of ammo is going to go up again, and this is why. Because our companies, they've got to play along with the government as well and be ass bags. And now it's going to cost you more because they want a virtue signal.
Well, and another thing is, say the ammo, it's a non-war year or non-war going on. The ammo companies produce ammo for the civilian market.
Yeah.
But there's a certain amount of volume there. And price, supply and demand, you come up with the prices. Now,
Yeah.
Guess what? Half of that ammo is going to the military, and all of these civilians are now relying on the other half. There's more demand, less supply. It's basic economics. Prices are going to go up.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Fun times.
Yeah. So what's the next one? Let's hit the next one.
Do we have a next one here? Where did that go?
Let's see. Let's see what we got here. I sent you, what is this? Where's all the links I sent you?
What you did was send them to my email, which does no good here in the studio.
I got you. I'll send them to you. Let's see if we can find them.
We just said that doesn't help. So with all of this stuff going on in the Ukraine, the other thing that's going on, and I heard this directly from the horse's mouth, is your old unit, Pop 425.
Yes.
Do you know where they are right now?
They were disbanded in 2011.
If they were disbanded in 2011, then whatever has taken their place is now in Yemen training rebels.
Really?
Yeah. I talked to a guy from the sniper section the other day. I ran into him at the store and was talking to him, and he said, yeah, we just had a bunch of guys came back from Yemen, and they're training rebels there to fight. So we've got guys in that part of the world stirring up crap now too.
Yep.
Why would we do that? What are we sending American freaking sniper detachments to Yemen for?
Yeah. And Yemen, we're going to cover that if we can get to it at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Is threatening to attack all the ships coming by. They're trying to bottleneck the world.
They own that portion of the Red Sea there. I can bring Google Maps up really quick while you're looking for that, because I'm an idiot and lost that thing there. That's
all right. If you go back to my email, you'll see a link at the top, and all of the links that I covered yesterday at the Sunday stream are on there.
So here we have ye old map of the world. Let's take a walk across the ocean. Enjoy the calm blue features.
Here we go.
Now we're in Africa.
The ass of humanity.
Now we're in Algeria. Algiers is actually kind of nice. That's what used to be Carthage, actually. Used to be Carthage.
Now there's the Sinai, Egypt. I fucking hate that place.
There's the Cyprus. There's Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia. And you come down here.
If you go up a little bit, the Suez Canal is right by Egypt.
Oh, by the way, the Suez Canal, controlled by the Egyptians at the moment. Now, there has been talk for a long time about wanting to run a canal from Israel along the Jordan border to the Red Sea, which would bypass any Egyptian control. Would you like to speculate what chunk of land happens to be in the way of the Israelis doing that, by the way?
Probably Gaza.
Yeah. Gaza, little country called Gaza. Country, I'm sorry, little patch of land called Gaza. It isn't a country. It's
the Brooklyn of death.
The Brooklyn of death.
Yes.
Is in the way of the Israelis digging that canal. So there's that little feature as well. Funny how these things crop up. So we go down from Israel along the Red Sea, which is this nice long body of water here that's been plied by sailors for 6,000 years, to a little country called Yemen on the eastern side there.
Which is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That country is the poorest fucking nation in the Middle East.
So we go this way here, and you can see Djibouti to the south, and a little area called Taiz here, and then a city called Mocha. Well, between Mocha and Assab here, in this little tiny strait of water for the Red Sea that goes off into the, is this the Indian Ocean here? I think this is the Indian Ocean.
I have no idea.
The Gulf of Aden, which then goes into the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, but look at all the choke points that are in there.
That is one of the biggest shipping lanes in the world.
Yeah, now listen.
One of the biggest shipping lanes in the world.
Now, for us, America, if they decide to, block off shipping in here, we will feel the effects, but very minimally.
That's what they're doing. That's where they attacked our vessels.
Yes, but the thing is, the second world countries, the third world countries who depend on those imports,
Yes.
they are royally fucked, and that's how the conflict will spread.
Yeah, absolutely. Is choke points like that.
Yes.
So we have forces in Yemen. The guy I talked to, I know he's part of the sniper section for whatever the 425 was. What did it become? Do we know?
The 425 got disbanded and got rolled into the 125 and 126. Or 125 is light infantry in Michigan. 126 is mechanized infantry.
Okay, so one of those sections.
It's probably 125.
Okay.
Yeah.
Light infantry. Yeah, that would make sense. Anyway, they're over in Yemen. He wasn't able to specify who they're training, obviously, because, again, you run into the NDA thing. We have lots of NDAs. It's to keep us from talking about stuff like this.
Yes. And,
but
and
we
it
know
wouldn't
how to
be the
talk
first
around
time. The 425 was used to train Polish troops.
Yeah.
They did, I believe, a couple small stints at the schools of America that we used to run.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a whole shit fuck show right there.
Yeah, it's a whole.
Like, literally, we trained to the U.S. standard of combat armies in South America. And then I, on December 20th, 1989, had to jump into Rio Hato with the Rangers and go up against the Macho de Monte and their 7th Armored Cavalry.
That had been trained by us.
Everyone trained by us.
Yeah.
Winning? No. Yeah. Luckily we had
Something.
Spectre on station, or it would have been way.
Oh, you had
worse.
some spookies up there?
Oh, we had,
Nice.
I believe there was 2 spookies.
Stories. Yeah.
Yeah, they were. I believe it was one at a time. I don't remember.
Those are so effective. Those are just so fucking effective.
That's 24 concussions ago, man.
So, did you find the other one?
Which one?
Where is it? We just went from there to Yemen to
right.
You forwarded it back to me.
All right. If you go to the Redonkulas 12 email,
yeah,
you will see all of the links right there.
Got it.
There they there they are.
Hamas, sexual violence. Where do we want to go?
All right, and we want to do the Israel. The Israel's on the very bottom under that dotted black line. Down more, right in there.
Going down. That's what she said.
There it is.
Here we go. Houthi attacks. Here's
hang on. Shut those up.
How do I?
Hang on.
I got him.
There.
Sorry about that. Minor interference.
No, it's all right. Murphy. There it is.
Yeah. Let me make sure that we're sharing the right
one. There.
That's not it.
No.
Hey, Pop.
Yeah.
I'm having it a head firmly up ass day.
All right. So, Jimmy, can you jump in there and see?
There we go. I got it.
You listen. He will get better.
It is quite the learning curve. Trust me.
After the Houthi attacks in the Red Sea, fears of a wider Middle East conflict grow. This is exactly what we were just talking about. Since the war between Israel and Hamas broke out in Gaza in October, some have been warning that localized fighting could erupt into regional conflict, which, again, is exactly what we were just talking about. U.S. Central Command said the Houthis attacked 3 ships over several hours using ballistic missiles and drones. Is that 5th group in there? 3rd or 5th?
No, I don't remember. I don't.
The American Special Forces groups. I saw a lot of traffic about these guys when we went into Algeria. We were getting the reports from their skiffs.
Well, here's the thing about the Special Forces groups. I don't remember. All I know is back in the day, 7th group was South America. But since 9/11, literally different groups have been reassigned different areas, and I have not kept track.
It was the only ones who kept. The only one who has kept their AO as first group is still Asia.
Okay.
I don't know what the others. My cousin was in 7th for a long time. Anyway, this stuff we mentioned this as we were talking. These conflicts have been going on for 3,000 to 6,000 years.
Yes.
And we've just stepped back into the hornet's nest again, and we're going through all of this, and we're helping.
Hey, stand by. I got to take this call.
Standing by. We're having a pop moment.
What's going on? What's up? Oh, are you fucking with me? All right, good. I'll talk to you later on. My mom's doing, she's doing okay, man. So you should probably give her a call. Okay, I'll call you after the show.
We're having a moment.
Roger out.
Oh,
Sorry, I keep the phone on. My mom's in the hospital.
Yeah,
I keep the phone on. My mom's in the hospital.
that's understandable.
It's
That's
the way it
understandable.
is.
Your mom's in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's a permitted.
Yeah, and it was pretty bad.
No flag on the play.
No, it was a bad situation, and the only reason she's still here is my ESP was like, I should probably go check on her.
Your S kicked in.
Yes, I literally went to Bell Tire. I bought 4 tires. I was on the one on Woodward and 13.
Right.
I'm walking out and I'm like, bing! I should probably check on her.
Probably check on my mother.
And it's literally 2 miles down the road on Woodward. I go up there. She looked like a piece of modeling clay. I'm like, you're going to the hospital.
Yeah, let's go. Hop in the car.
All right.
Wow, that's crazy.
But, the thing is Steve and I are thinking along the same lines about the choke points and, screwing with the world's economy. It's only a logical conclusion that it is going to spread the conflict. In fact, Japan is saber rattling because one of their ships was attacked.
Yeah.
And they're not having it.
Now, here's the thing. Northeast Asia was my part of the world. If the Japanese start saber rattling, they're going to do something.
That's right.
That is the Japanese way. Yep. They're an incredibly proud people. And if that sword comes out of the sheath, that means they're cutting somebody in half.
Somebody's going to get cut.
Yeah, somebody's getting cut.
It might not be in half, but somebody's getting cut. And Japan has been slowly building their forces since 1970?
About 1970. That is correct.
Were you going to say something, Jimmy?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say someone's gonna die.
Someone's gonna die. Yeah, absolutely.
We should get that as a soundbite. Someone's gonna die.
We should do that. I have that. I have a collection of all of his greatest hits.
Because he's the guy who makes the shorts.
Yeah, I make the shorts.
Nice.
So if you hate the shorts, I'm the one to yell at. Don't bother Pop about it. In addition to the attacks by Hezbollah and the Houthis, other militant groups backed by Iran have carried out dozens of attacks against military forces spread throughout the Middle East in recent weeks, according to the Pentagon. While these attacks have been frequent, they've so far been on a relatively small scale, and the U.S. has responded with limited airstrikes. Yet they point to the volatility in the region and the possibility that attacks could escalate into a much larger battle. For those of you who don't understand what's going on, and I think Pop will agree with me here, what this sounds like is probe by fire.
Yes.
They're testing our lines.
Recon by fire.
Yep.
Recon by fire.
What they're doing is testing to see what our reactions are, testing how far they can push us, testing to see what areas we're willing to give up in order to provide more support in another area. These are sophisticated. These are not goat fucking backwater idiots.
No.
There's not. These people have been operating in this area again for 3,000 to 6,000 years. They're smart. They know their territory. They know what they're doing. They know the area they have to control. They know the choke points they need to control. And they're really looking to see which buttons of ours they can push.
Yeah. And listen, I really don't want to have to send a bunch of dudes to the sandbox, do more bullshit. Especially with the government that we have that literally has no balls.
Yeah.
You send a bunch of troops to war, you should send them there to win, not hold their hands or hold them back, because that's just, a protracted defeat.
Yeah.
In my opinion, when the United States goes to war, it should do everything in its power to eradicate the enemy, bar none. That way, we don't have to worry about it after that because they're done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Look, war should be so fucking horrible. We don't want to do it, but we have all of these rules and laws And it's just like, oh well, we'll just have another war. I'm sick of it.
You ever game perfect world scenarios in your head where if you could rule the world for a day?
Well, the one I do is if I, take over the earth, and and I've worked on that flow chart. It's incredibly insane.
Yeah, I was going to allow all militaries to keep all modern transportation, but then the actual battles have to be fought with medieval weapons, so that people experience war and know how much it sucks, instead of some guy with a drone in a bunker in Arizona bombing somewhere in Nigeria.
Yeah,
none of that's allowed.
Face to face, sword and shields and spears.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
I like it.
Exactly. And to that point, I read a lot of ancient Greek literature. I'm that weirdo. I was reading Ovid's Metamorphoses this morning, and it covers a lot of the Greek wars.
Yeah.
And there was a beautiful scene where he's talking about there's this great battle between these two heroes. One of them fires an arrow and pins the other warrior's tongue to his chin with the arrow. And from his chin is pinned to his throat by the arrow. So this guy Ovid wrote this in 10 AD. He's describing a guy being shot through the tongue, through the chin, into his neck, pinning his entire face to his chest.
It could happen.
That's the war you need to fight.
Yeah.
You're going to fight a war. That's the war you want to fight.
Close and personal.
There you go. So this is from Al Jazeera, which is one of the big Arab papers here. Yemen's Houthis warn they will target all Israel-bound ships in the Red Sea. So what they're doing is interdicting anything that's going to support Israel.
Yeah.
That's going to mean our ships.
Well, here's the thing. They don't know
means our ships.
what ships are going to Israel or not. So every ship going by this country is going to have a bullseye on it.
Not entirely true.
Okay.
I was SIGINT. What did we do?
Well, you did.
We listened to all of your radio transmissions and
But
for keywords and phrases and waited. So they won't get all of them, and they will attack the wrong ship from time to time, but they are able to tell to a degree which ships are going where, because they can intercept signals traffic. And I know they did that in that region. I experienced it first.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Right.
We did SIGINT in that region, and that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
So if Gaza does not receive the food and medicine it needs, all ships in the Red Sea bound for Israeli ports, regardless of the nationality, will become a target for our armed forces. So they're using Gaza as the lever here, basically to commit a huge amount of piracy in the area of the Red Sea.
Now, just for historic value, wasn't there a contingent of Marines that were sent over to Northern Africa because of all of the piracy and people getting enslaved?
Yeah. Yes.
This has been going on since before America was even formed.
Yes. Yeah, that's a little known fact and a deeper rabbit hole that we should do a show on that someday.
You probably should.
There was more slavery captured Americans than any African slaves that went to the United States.
We need to find the sources for that. That would be a good show.
I think I could find some of that.
We could call that one slave count.
Slave count. Yeah, it's actually true. The historical numbers hold it up.
Future show. Slave count.
The Iran-aligned group is escalating the risk of regional conflict as Israel continues to bombard Gaza for the third month. What's going on is the Houthis, backed by Iran, are looking for a reason to pick another fight. Iran's trying to get all of its little satellite groups. There's dozens of these groups. It's not just the Houthis.
No.
There are 85 separate factions in Lebanon, and we counted 73, I think, just in Algeria.
Well, in Algiers, they have operators in Iraq.
Yeah,
Northern. Cook. I think what are some of the countries south of Egypt? Sudan.
Yeah, any of those regions in there. But the point being, these guys are funded by the Iranians and run by the Iranians, and the Iranian, what's their guard? I forget the name of that unit. Anyway, the Iranians have basically a special forces unit that goes in and equips all of these little brutes.
No, and listen.
And they all act on what the Iranians want to do.
In Iraq, I got called into the scene of a completed ambush, and there was I think
Revolutionary Guard. Thank you, broke.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one of those guys there. And there was like maybe 70, I don't remember how many guys, but they had about a half a dozen RPKs, 8 different RPGs with the new missiles that would go through Abrams.
Oh shit, Sabo.
Hyperbaric one.
Yeah, I know.
And well, the Marines rolled them up. They had 2 Dishkas. They had like literally brought these, Russian 50 caliber machine guns into position. Luckily, the Marines caught them before they kicked off and captured a bunch of these guys. And it's within 1 mile of Abu. I get called out there, and these Marines are like, "Let's fucking kill them. Let's fuck them up." I'm like, no. But literally, I'm like, okay, tell me, just tell me which ones are from another country, or I'm going to put you all in the Whip Me Spank Me camp. And there was 2 operators there. I think one of them might have been either Iranian or Syrian.
Did they get sent to the Caribbean vacation?
They went to the Whip Me Spank Me camp.
Wow.
And what happened to them, I don't know. It's not my business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same concept we do. We send Green Berets to other countries, and we help train and organize, their either resistance.
Yes, we do that same stuff.
Or it's a foreign internal defense mission, FID. So, I mean, that's how that works.
I have taught foreign intelligence units how to do some of the SIGINT stuff that we used to do. And it was just my mission. It wasn't something, hey, I'd like to go teach those guys how to do. I was just told, here, go take these guys here and show them how to use this piece of equipment.
You were voluntold.
We were voluntold.
That's the way it goes.
And at the time, you don't think of it. You're not sitting there thinking, how is this going to geopolitically affect everything? You're not thinking that. You're just, okay, let's grab this shit. Let's go. Come on.
That's right.
The Iranians are using all of these little groups to push their agendas around the board. Now, remember, chess came out of Persia and India.
Mm-hmm.
Again, these guys are not idiots.
Yeah,
they are not. They're playing chess.
Yeah, these groups are pawns.
Yes. That's exactly what's going on.
Yep.
Let me grab another link here. Should we stay in Israel or shall we?
No, go down. Yeah, finish going down Israel.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. You got a lot of the Houthi links in here.
Yeah.
Let's see what.
There we go.
Oh,
this is the Japanese military strength.
Yeah. Let me bring that up on Los screen real fast. Now, we said the Japanese were spinning up again, and away we go with that.
Yeah, you can look at a glance. You can just click on those.
Let's go with overview.
There we
real quick. What does this represent here?
Well, their population,
good
available manpower, fit to serve.
Yeah, the Japanese are a very fit culture. I've been through Japan several times. I speak just enough of the language to order food and probably get in trouble. A lot of the military language as well. They share a lot of words between Korean and Chinese.
Uh-huh.
It's when you get into the verbs that you get in trouble. Anyway,
like I know that.
No, just trust me. just roll with it.
All right.
The Japanese are a very, very fit culture. So there is about a 96% chance that any young male in Japan is going to be capable of military service.
Yeah.
Their problem is declining birth rates.
That's happening in the entire Western world, though.
But you're talking about a culture where discipline is considered chic. It's considered cool to be disciplined in Japan.
Mm.
It's something we don't have here in the United States.
No.
At all.
No.
We barely have work ethic anymore.
Yeah. And it's because most of the young men don't have male role models.
Yeah.
That's kind of why we do the show.
What's their defense budget looking like right now? Ranking total annual defense budget spending capability by country. United States. We wanted to see Japan. Where is Japan here? Remember, this is a tiny country. They're just below South Korea.
Yep.
With $39 billion on their defense budget. That's quite a bit of jingle that they're tossing out there. Where are we at a glance right here?
Yeah, you got your manpower, air power, land power. I mean, it's pretty evenly spaced.
So when the average Joe looks at this, you're seeing a pretty pie chart. That's nice. When somebody who's done battle overlays and era overlays and the comment overlays for actual battle maps, when I see this, I see a very well-balanced military.
Yep.
It sounds cliche, but it's true.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Like if you were looking at a pie chart like that and 80% of it was just like infantry, they're fucked.
Right. That is right there a country that has fought wars and knows how to organize an army. And again, this is an old culture. They have been fighting wars for 2,000 years as well.
We had a hell of a time with Japan in World War II. Now imagine this, Japan, but now they're going to fight like us. Because guess what? We've been fucking training them since 1950.
I know, I was there.
So guess what? When Japan decides to roll, pull up anchor and start spanking ass, it's like a miniature bulldog version of America ripping them apart.
Yeah, they're really, really.
Except they don't have Godzilla. I'm sorry.
I got JHCH01. I am in Korea, active duty military reserve. I hate going every 6 months for JHCH01. Are you Korean?
Yeah, say that in Korean.
Are you Korean? JHCH01. 너 한국 사람인가? 한국군 어떤 군? 지역은 어디인데? 제가 철원지대도 했고 판문점도 했고 대구 그리고 뭐 평택도 이랬고.
See, that's
거기
that's left brain right there.
한국의 특전사 사령부가 뭐 K-16 비행자가 있었는데 아직 있냐?
All right, hang on. All right, switch back to American. You're freaking me out. You're freaking me out.
I was just asking him what unit he was in, what region he was in. I said the areas that I worked. I was in the DMZ. I was in the Chor one, where the famous the Frozen Chosen.
Yeah.
I spent some time there. I spent time with Rock Special Forces at K-16 Airfield. That's what I was talking to him about. So those the new Godzilla movie is awesome. That's more reasonable. Oh, not Pyeongtaek. Okay, he's by Pyeongtaek. Got it.
All right. So here's another thing.
Korea.
We are not going to be switching over to alt tech.
No.
We're not talking about any super sensitive subjects. This is all open source, and we're covering actual conflicts that are taking place today.
Ooh, thank you, Gundai 351. That was very nice of you. Just chuck $5
out. Cool. We're going to cover super chats in about another 10 minutes, but let's see if we can get some more.
So anyway, the point being of Japan coming into the fray here, Japan hasn't thrown a punch since 1947.
Well, it's 40. I thought it was 40.
They were still fighting in Korea until 1947.
Oh, okay.
They were still fighting in Korea until 1947. And some of their guys held out. There was the guy who held out on Okinawa until 1981.
That dude's a fucking legend.
That
dude's a legend. And he still had his rifle.
Just on him. We could do a show just on him.
No, here we go. He still had his rifle.
Yeah.
But all of the wood had rotted away. But every metal piece of that rifle
still worked.
Meticulously maintained.
Yes, and he had tied it together with bamboo or something like that.
That dude's a savage.
That guy was freaking outstanding.
You want to talk about being motivated? That was for Venezuela.
Yeah. And it okay, so Guyana is
no, hang on. Guyana is the country being attacked by Venezuela.
Yes.
And if you look in that links, there should be the size. That's the size of the Guyana army. And then when you compare it to the Venezuelan army, it's not even close.
I wouldn't be, but Venezuela is so corrupt. It's not.
Yeah, I know,
funny.
but they got a couple 1.7 million dudes in their entire
military strength detail. Which one are you looking for there, though?
Let's see. Click on that one. There it is, Venezuela. That one right there. Click on that. No, down. Up more. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Boom. Bang!
Venezuela military strength.
Yeah, and if you scroll down, you get the same stuff from the other one. Because on this website, they literally have virtually every country and their military strength right there for you to look at.
Global firepower. Yeah. So Venezuela's military strength. What have we got here? They're pretty okay too. One of the things that sets us apart from a lot of the world, and Britain doesn't have this anymore, is our Navy strength.
Yes.
Naval strength is a really big deal. Venezuela doesn't really have much of a need for it, but I didn't know what's going on in Guyana. Fill me in.
All right. So there's a lot of sable rattling about Venezuela invading Guyana and taking the mineral-rich, oil-rich lands away from them. And there ain't shit all Guyana's going to be able to do because you have 1.7 million military-industrial complex against 3,000 guys.
Wow.
Not going to, I mean, it's going to be a complete blowout. And there's really fuck all we could do about it right now. And that conflict, I can almost guarantee you they're going to invite China, and then we're going to have Chinese troops in mass in South America.
Yeah. Somebody here just said Venezuela screwed itself over, and now they're going into Guyana for their oil, which makes a great deal of sense.
And Germany did the same shit when they wanted their portion of Poland and the Sudetenland after World War I, before World War II kicked off.
Rabbit hole we'll discuss later.
Roger.
Partially true.
Gotcha.
Partially true.
All right. Let's.
Anyway, so apparently this is going on. Are we involved in this here?
No, but we will.
So why did you bring Guyana up, though?
Because we are going to wind up at some point having to deal with that problem because it's on our continent, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's opening the door for other foreign powers to set up bases that are incredibly hard to get rid of.
Yeah, that's a true story. I could do a whole show all by myself on what China has been doing.
Go back to the Venezuela strength, the firepower strength.
The firepower strength one?
For Venezuela.
All right, hang on. I got to go back
all right,
here.
Now rotate down, rotate down. Go down.
Venezuela's.
That one there. Go down.
Yeah.
Scroll down on that page. Just go down. There we go. Now I want you to look at their manpower.
For Venezuela, why are we looking at their manpower?
Because you're looking at, I mean, it is such a mismatch. It's insane. Listen, Venezuela is going to do this. They have no choice. It is going to happen, and it's opening the door.
Tiny army, man. That's less than 10 divisions.
I know, but they're going against 3,000 guys
in Guyana.
Yeah. Guyana's got like 3,000, 3,500 dudes. That's it.
Does Guyana have a hot gates?
No. Oh, I know what you're saying, but yeah. But you want to see a Spartan, die to the last man thing.
Sparta. Yeah, if Ephialtes, may you live forever.
Yeah.
That's
it's not even a fight.
That's crazy. I had no idea that was kicking off. I haven't been paying attention to that part of the world at all. I'm just worried about nuclear war starting in the Middle East.
But this show is about the conflicts that are taking place today. And, and that's one of them.
You just brought one to my attention. I'm not saying, I don't want to talk about that. I'm saying I didn't know this was here.
Yeah.
Why is Venezuela threatening a land grab war in Latin America? Caracas sets its sights on Guyana's vast oil deposits. Well, there it is right there. Maduro isn't willing to let a little thing like international law get in the way. How many people out there, show of hands, who knew that this was going on at all? I had, other than Pop, obviously, What the hell? Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro took unprecedented steps to establish control over the contested Essequibo region of neighboring Guyana, violating an International Court of Justice ruling. Essequibo, a region in western Guyana, accounts for 2/3 of the country's territory, 16% of its population, and crucially, would give Caracas a claim to offshore oil riches that Guyana recently found and that Venezuela clearly covets. This is just one of the oldest tales on the planet.
Well, yes, I've said it a million times, we're evil hairless monkeys. We like to take shit away from each other, and it happens all the time.
Yeah. It's absolutely insane. One of the things about this, the international courts, the International Criminal Court or the UN or all these things, how many of you out there know that none of these courts actually have any authority at all?
Yeah, they don't.
They have zero legal effect. It only works if everybody involved agrees.
Correct.
They're toothless. They're stupid. It's a bunch of guys in a country club opining while drinking expensive scotch.
Correct.
Is what it boils down to. None of these have any effect.
No, like if you get convicted in the court, the Hague, like listen, the whole COVID thing.
Yeah,
it's against the Hague, but we're doing it anyway. Nobody's doing shit.
Yep.
But that's another show. We can't get into that one.
That's true. That is a rabbit hole.
We will do the COVID countdown.
Yeah. What makes the Essequibo region so worth coveting? We might as well know something about it since we brought it up. Home to significant swathes of the Amazon rainforest, Essequibo is mineral-rich territory containing vast gold and copper deposits. That's valuable. 2015, the region's worth skyrocketed after ExxonMobil discovered large quantities of oil off of its coast, setting Guyana up to become the richest nation in Latin America on a per capita basis. Just offshore and almost but not quite entirely in Guyana's exclusive economic zone is an oil gusher with at least 10 billion oils of crude. If Venezuela were to grab Essequibo, it could lay claim to basically all of that offshore wealth. Now, billions of dollars and thousands of beefsteaks pour into Georgetown, the capital of the once backwater, now developing nation. Guyana has used the funds to launch a major infrastructure development, its first deep-water port, and a gas-to-energy project that would double the nation's energy output while cutting power bills in half. And in September, it announced its intentions to sell oil to big players, including China, Qatar, and Malaysia. Further triggering Venezuela's economic jealousy. Pop, I just had an idea. How many guys can you get together on short notice? Let's go defend Guyana and become oil barons.
Well,
we're here to fight for you. We're old, but we're effective.
I think Pop would rather just invade Canada.
I'd rather invade Canada for their beer.
I know. But it's, it's South America. The women are beautiful. The oil is plentiful. Yeah. There's some pluses there.
Listen, you go down to South America, there's money and tits.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
You're going to get money and tits.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might die, but
be careful. Those women will cut.
Yes.
They will cut.
All right. I'm sorry I threw that in there, but that is a legitimate conflict. I mean, Ukraine is winding down because they've run out of people. Let's just be honest. The average age of the Ukrainian soldier is 42.
Yeah.
So that's going to come to an end. We may or may not see any kind of proof of the money laundering that's been going on between that country and our country. Time will tell.
I think we're going to. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. We're filtering billions of dollars through that country with nothing to show for it.
Correct. And then we're seeing a conflict heat up on our very own continent, which will basically put up a welcome sign for certain countries to come there in mass. And it's not going to be good.
No.
I will say if things do kick off down there in Central America, that will may or may not, hinder the illegals all coming through.
Whatever.
Maybe not.
It'll get worse.
Those funnels for the illegals, mind you, the Darien Gap is there, which is supposed to be uncrossable. We have State Department people down there, which means CIA, for those of you who haven't figured this out yet, who are helping them cross the Darien Gap, which is one of the most dangerous places in our side of the planet.
So you're talking the CIA?
Christians in Action, we called them.
Christians
in Action.
Writing that down.
I have thrown a station chief out of a skiff because he did not belong in there. He did not like that at all. I got my ass chewed, but he did not get access to the skiff. It's big money. So whatever happens there in South America with Guyana and Venezuela, they won't interfere with that because the cartels will turn around and assassinate all of their people and they'll have to start all over again.
All right. So this is what we got going on. We're at 9:20. So let's start rolling through some of the YouTube super chats. Can you track them down there?
Yep, I got them.
I got to say, for whatever reason, this subject has drawn in one of the biggest crowds we've had on this podcast since we covered the presidential.
Really? Well, actually, we'll do a head count before we get into those because we have
doing that because I'm going to bring something else up. Can you start doing a count there?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, and because I want to show people this. We started out with 87% of Russia's forces being killed. Well, here's the problem. The U.S. estimates nearly 500,000 soldiers are wounded and killed in the Ukraine war.
Mhm.
That doesn't match up with the 87% for the Russians, for one. And for another, Ukraine's military, do we know how big it is? I think it's nowhere near 200,000.
I have no idea. I have not been up to speed. But here's another thing I've noticed, because I've searched for Ukrainian losses and the size of their military.
I look too.
And I don't really go beyond 8 pages.
Yeah.
I stop around,
Let's
5 and 8.
Try something.
Yeah, let's have an experiment.
I have an idea.
Type up Russian losses.
Wait, before we do that, Ukrainian demographics.
Okay.
Demographics of Ukraine. Let's go to Christians in action. Photo of Ukraine, country's flag, special country projects, locator map, introduction, background, environment, geography. Where is people and society? There's what I'm looking for. Not that I have any
43 million people.
Okay, so 43 million people. You got to estimate that approximately
half of them are too old to fight.
Half of them are too old to fight right off the bat. So now we're down to 20 million.
Let me do the math here.
Okay.
So 43 divided by 2. 21 million people are probably under the age. Now let's take half of that away because split tails.
Yep.
So now you're down to 10 million, dudes.
Yep. Now let's say of that, the warfighting age in that 10 million group, your warfighting age is basically 17 to 45.
Correct.
So you got to knock another 3 million off of that.
Yes. And the average age on the ground is 42. That's telling me they've lost the youth of their country. Has been eradicated.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Or they've run.
Or they've run away.
Or they've run. The young and the strong can sometimes just go the other way.
Yeah. And listen, I mean, the Russians, the way they're conducting business is fucking, I just can't believe that they still exist.
I came across Russian video of them finding Ukrainian women in military uniforms in trenches, and the Russians just walking through them going, wow, they don't have anything left but bitches.
Yep.
And that's the direct translation from the Russian. I could understand what he was saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And
they don't have anything left but bitches.
I've been reading some of the, smaller stories in regards to how the Russian army treats their own people. And I was reading this one story where this one officer it was like a minor argument, and he literally pulls his service pistol and shoots the guy 5 fucking times. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. If I'm in a military unit and a commissioned officer executes a man in my unit, he's hit. He might as well write his letter home to his mother, because he's not going to remain standing and walking around for very long.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
Oh.
You cannot have that.
You have to remember, one of the worst things that I had to do when I was overseas, I was civil affairs and PSYOPs for a long time. I had to train the new officers who came in. And one of the biggest things I had to train them on is, you're not in America. These people do not think like you. They don't think like you. They don't want to think like you. They don't know how to think like you. They're not interested in thinking like you. And furthermore, they're not going to think like you.
Correct.
So when they do something like execute one of their guys, that's part of it. It freaks us the hell out. That's part of our culture. It's part of their culture. I talked to guys coming back from Afghanistan who were like, they just screw anything, but they especially love to screw little boys.
Yeah.
And our guys had the hardest time with that.
I had to stop it we're going to have an international incident over that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that
our guys wanted to kill him.
I had to, we had to move a bunch of dudes around because of that. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
I don't want to go into
that's another rabbit hole.
That's another rabbit
Let's
hole.
stay out of the rabbit hole. What's the body count? What do we got?
Let's see. Jumping over here on YouTube, we got 1,090 over there watching. Only
all right.
Only 458 likes, though, gents. Come on.
Yeah, come on, man. Raise those likes.
Let's see.
What do we do? What do we do? Do I need to strip? I'm fat. You don't want me.
No. Like literally, you are hearing in between the lines of what's really going on, because the media is not telling you the truth.
Nope.
And he's got, how many years were you in the service? 12?
I was in for 11, but I spent 8.5 straight overseas. And
Yes.
6 of that was entirely with special operations.
Yes, and I got 33 years of experience. So that's like 45 years,
Yeah.
46 years between the both of us.
Uh-oh. Looks like Rumble may or may not be getting hit again tonight.
The chat stopped in its tracks. I
Yes.
haven't seen the chat move in a minute.
Yep.
Well,
Say that.
Her Rumble is unusual.
well, Rumble was up to about 1,100 as well.
Yep,
It's
we
down to-
are
down to
it's-
976.
Yep, it's currently jumping up to 959
Let me
on my end.
refresh
960. We're climbing over
page
there.
here.
Okay.
See, we got over on MGTOW, we got 70 over there.
All right.
See how
One more
Odyssey's
is
doing.
71.
I got 960 in there. We've got MGTOW TV is still up. He says, Broken Pine says the chat is working. My refresh just froze. That's all. DDoS fired. We have a DDoS fired. I
Gotcha.
need a 53 to my location. Real Stag's calling out cop chat. I
All
know
right.
one Canada vet who had to
Let's
listen to
see.
a little boy in Afghanistan scream while being raped for hours. PTSD much. Yeah. No
Yes,
shit.
I know. All right, hang on. Let's get the super chats first.
Do it.
All right, we'll jump over
All right,
to
Jimmy.
Super
YouTube-
Chats
let's
over
hit
here
YouTube
on
first.
YouTube. Yep, I got those pulled up. We got the Pimped Out Platypus with $10. Says, I'm not in tune with my ESP, but even I can feel the agent of chaos in the shadows. Instincts are telling me we may need to stay strapped or get clapped. Charlie Mike, top.
Absolutely correct.
Got
What's the next one?
Dungus Fun with $2. Freddy Krueger Pop giving the knife hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to start doing that as like a service. Like if you want to have an actual like 30-second knife hand where I have to yell at somebody for some stupid shit in their life, we're going to set up a price. I could film that and make it happen.
There we go. Got a homeschool time with $2. Says World Without Men, Aaron Cleary book. Buy and read now.
Actually, Aaron Clary puts up some pretty good shit.
Oh yeah. We got Nick Crocodiles with €2. He says, Pop, wish your mom to get better. Non-liberal soon.
Well, they have her tachycardia under control now, which was the most important thing. So I believe she's going to be in there for another 2 or 3 days, and then hopefully she gets to come home.
Wow.
Praying for Mama Pop.
Yeah.
I got Captain Cisco with $2. Says, Pop, what do you know about aliens and UFO?
Oh, that's another show.
That's definitely going to be another show.
No.
That's
I was in Phoenix in '97. I saw the Phoenix lights, and they were not flares. It was not any kind of aircraft we have or we knew about at the time. That's all I could say right now. But I watched it for a good 18 to 20 minutes.
I told you I'm not going to talk about the probe.
Okay.
Let's see. We've got a cross stuff $5. No comment there. Thank you, good sir. Got Kira Ninja 00 with $5. Says, Pop, Japan said that if China attacks Taiwan, they would defend Taiwan.
Yes,
Of
they
course,
will.
the USA would also be in the fight.
You're probably correct. You got to hit the pisser. All right.
Squirrel bladder. So got just a couple more here over on YouTube. Got a Dooley Still of $5. Says, great show. Send me an autographed book.
Actually, I'm going to get some more of these. And I had one of the fans' wives contact me, and she was going to buy all my books and send them to me, and then I would sign them and mail them back. What I'm trying to do is get a stock of these, and like for $30, I'll put my name in there. I'll sign with it. I'll sign it and give you like one of the popisms or even a short statement you want me to write in there. No problem.
Nice.
And then mail it to you. I'm just trying to come up with the cost structure on that.
Yeah.
Right now it's starting at like right around $30, but we're not doing it because I have to get more copies. So.
But we have another opportunity as well that we were talking about at dinner time. Maybe
the patches.
You guys, if you want to get something for your donations and not feel like you're just throwing money at Pop because he's a bad stripper. Pop has he would make a terrible stripper, by the way. It's just a fact. Tons of patches that he has gathered over the years. This one is 23rd Aero Med Evac Squadron. TAC Evac brings him back. Things like that. I mean, what about you kick $10 and you get a patch in the mail or something like that?
Well, we'll have to work it out. But there's only about 40 or 50 patches in there.
Well,
right now.
I know,
Yep.
But yeah,
Well, maybe once we get the merch situation back on the track, we can figure out patches that way.
Yep.
Send out little Redonkulas patches, or
yeah. We can
make a
cartoon
pop knife.
I just want you to feel like you're throwing money at a stripper and not getting anything.
All right, continue on, Jimmy.
All right, last one over here on YouTube. Got Ball Harry with Fall 499 says, "Popster, I saved it for you. Your influence goes far. Check article at New York Post 23/11/30. Lawyer suspended for dumping poo-filled Pringles cans."
Yeah, we covered.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
getting one Pringles can, and they never let you forget it.
Yep. But
we saw the show.
It does look like Rumble has shit the bed.
Let me check.
That sucks.
They're under attack, man. I mean,
they're getting hammered left, right, up, down. Fist, no lube. They're getting it from all ends.
Yeah.
Jump over there. We got a Gendai 351 with a fake news report. Over to the emails. All right, what do you got here for us, Gendai? It says, Jimmy, if you can please say the following line prior to playing the file. All right, let me download this real quick. Oh, we got. It's titled Ginger Hamster News.
Ginger Hamster News.
Open file.
He's the guy we have on the show every once in a while. He's a good dude. He's a Red Pill MGTOW creator.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves the Ginger Hamster.
Solid dude.
Oh, okay.
Solid guy.
All right, here's the line. And we go live to our correspondent, Ginger Hamster, live via phone. Let me gotta do this.
I believe Rumble has crashed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rumble has Sheeit the bed. So apologies there, gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry about that. We can only do what we can do.
Yep. All right. Make sure that this is playing here.
Well, the chat is still working because somebody says that Rumble is getting hammered harder than Pop's ex, allegedly.
Allegedly. All right, let's see.
I'm gonna get me sued. Stop it, goddamn!
All right, let's see what's on the Ginger Hamster News. Let me know if you guys got audio here.
All right, sorry, Jimmy. Sorry. What were you saying?
Reporting live from the scene of the crime.
You got to turn it up a little bit.
In Old Detroit, a local man hired a septic tank operator to empty his tanker in the most unlikely of places. The driver and this local man are facing many charges from the district attorney's office, including, but not limited to, desecrating a grave, willful dumping of toxic waste, bribery, and indecent exposure.
Oh, no.
Witnesses report the man could be seen cackling with sadistic glee as the grave site was completely engulfed in raw sewage. He reportedly asked to be allowed to add his own flavor to the turgid slurry as the septic tank driver collected his money and hurried away. He was also seen allegedly bribing the local cemetery staff to cover the grave site as quickly as possible. We reached out to the law firm Dewey, Cheatham and Howe, but have received no response from his team. This is Ginger Hamster reporting live for the fake news. Back to you.
Slurry. That's brutal.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm definitely saving that one because I may or may not have to add that to my own lineup.
No. You're more than welcome to use it, bro.
Oh, that's awesome.
God, yeah,
apologies.
Six is over here on the phone chat telling me that Rumble is down too. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I just got a text from Polska Bob there too. So yeah, it looks like Rumble has shitted the bed.
Yeah, Rumble got hit in the pooper.
Yeah, let's see. We still got a couple of chats here. I got Digital Dew, $3 says, evening British cigarettes. Watching with my two Filipinas. Pop, how much methylene blue do you take?
It's usually 3. It's like 10 milligrams ish. Yeah, it's right around 8 to 12 milligrams. It's not really
What the hell is
specific, but yeah. And for those of you that don't know, I use the methylene blue to fight the oxidative stress that happens in your brain because it goes right through the blood-brain barrier. You can do research on it right now. They're actually using it to try to reverse Alzheimer's and dementia and a lot of other crazy shit that's hitting the older population.
Interesting?
Yeah.
Yep. He follows it up and says, he says, it makes my pee blue or green.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Memes emailed to you and Blake. I'll do a Reiki healing on your mom.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's check.
Broken Pine just threw a $5 super chat in Rumble just to do a chat test.
It's working.
Okay, so the chat is still up and running. It's just the video feed is some kind of
it's jacked up. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Oh,
let's see.
Back but sporadic.
Yes.
Back and sporadic. Gotta love that. Let's see. Jumping back through. I'll get to those memes here shortly. There. Anonymous with $2 on Rumble says, "If you attack Canada, please drop a tactical nuke on Parliament while Trudeau is there."
I would not use nuclear warheads. I like Canada too much, but definitely there'd be some people getting their asses beat.
Oh, there would definitely be people getting their asses kicked up over their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I have had plans for some time to do an Appian Way here in the U.S. Old Route 66. For those of you unfamiliar, that's when Marcus Crassus captured Spartacus in the slave rebellion and crucified 1,000 of the rebels.
It's actually more
along a road called the Via Appia.
Yes, and their bodies were left there for years.
100 miles of crucified slaves. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh
That's how it was done for real.
Well, we are evil hairless monkeys.
We are evil hairless monkeys.
There you
That's
go.
pretty bad.
All right, let's get through these chats, bro.
Let's see. I think that was it. Let me double check. Let's see. Actually, we had some on MGTOW.tv. I've seen a couple emails come in. We'll cover those at the end, just so that we can burn through these. Crazy Uncle with $5 sent in a toxic email. I will be sure to check that out. Got a Crazy Uncle again. Says, I don't see Pop. He's blending in with the wall. Talking about your shirt, DM.
Yeah, I know. I love.
I will say this though, with the links kind of going screwy on me for MGTOW, I at least get to scroll through the chats and very choice.
All right, cool.
Crazy Uncle again says, I'm glad you guys can say it on stream. I create fiction stories for a living, created and narrated by me. And when I called an intel asset a spook, which is what I grew up calling them, my fans freaked out, telling me I was going to get demonetized and banned. Thankfully, none of those things happened.
No,
I mean, because it's a legitimate description of intel activities. It's spooky.
Yeah, the British actually call us slime. I don't know why. I don't know how that works, but their intel guys were called slime.
Yeah.
It's got Philip Oliver Holes with $1. He says, showing some love on vacation in the Bahamas. Thanks for all you guys do. Nice. Speaking of nice, the MGTOW chat is a choice.
I've seen a lot of that stuff.
It's good. Crazy Uncle coming back, $2. In regard to Israel, the folks in the countryside have an opinion on this. Not our pig, not our farm.
That's right.
Yep.
Exactly.
I've been hearing more city/suburban folks say, not our dog, not our fight.
Yeah.
I'd go with that.
I'm from the Midwest, so I am familiar with the not my pig, not my farm.
Another one that I have heard that I particularly enjoy is not my circus, not my monkey.
Yeah. Let's get on with the chats. Let's get those knocked out.
Got a MGTOW Mando with $2. Says, didn't Blake tell the Hobbit there was a minimum height requirement to operate the buttons?
That's fuck.
Fuck you.
Thick skin, or use the pop mantra.
I'll be all right.
Okay. All right. Continue on.
Mando's a vet. He's good dude. Real good dude. I got a Crazy Uncle coming back with $2. Lighten the mood tonight by looking up the readiness of China For starters, the road wheels of their tanks fell off when they were showing them off in Russia. Also, when they pulled their only aircraft carrier out of port, it cracked shortway down the center. Then it caught fire. FYI, their best aircraft needs a ramp and a catapult since they don't have enough ass to get off the carrier deck without both.
Yes, or they have to limit the amount of ordnance that they can use.
I got a bust in here. Two Leg says Pop's Tigger shirt. Now, if Steve was in tan, he would have been poo. That's cold, man. That's cold. Professor Blake Post Blaster 3000 threw $1 super chat in here and asked the question. And Pop, you want to answer this one here?
Yeah.
If I can keep the chat from running away from me. Don't run away, little chat. That's really irritating. Pop, question. I wanted to join the Air Force Reserves. I just want to go in for a certain career and get out after that and get the benefits of it. Is it at all worth joining right now?
No. Straight up. No. I'm hearing all kinds of horror stories from people who are in the service. They are actively throwing people out with the old school mentality, the warfighter mentality. And you're left with a bunch of, sausage. It's a sausage fest when they don't even know they have sausages. It's all political. Your leaders are diversity hires. And for those of you that don't know, a diversity hire is somebody that usually has a C average. All right. Yeah. Now, that's fine for C average type of jobs. But if you're making life and death decisions, you want a guy who's at least a B plus, A minus, A plus decision maker. Yeah. So listen, I cannot in good conscience tell anyone out there watching to enlist in any service under this in the United States unless it's your absolute last option. Meaning you're coming out of say you were adopted or you were what are those when kids go to a home and they stay there, foster home. If you're a foster child and you're going to age out and you have absolutely nowhere to go, of course. I mean, you're going to get 3 hots a cot. They're going to give you a paycheck and train you in a profession. But if you have any other opportunities or paths to trade school,
welders make bank.
Yes, do not. Into the environment right now, do not go in the service. There is no benefit to you. It's nothing but downside. Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm off the. Move on to the next
Bad
one.
News. So we got Mando coming back over on MGTOW. It says fun historical fact. When the British first deployed tanks in World War I, they called them land battleships and were ran by naval crews.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
I love that.
Nice. So you got a Crazy Uncle coming back. It says a lot of Russian equipment that has been purchased from China. Is it a surprise to anyone that a shit ton of it doesn't work? Don't know about you, but I would like to know that the bullet will exit my barrel when I squeeze the trigger, not just go click.
Yep. Nobody likes.
Or do a detonation in the chamber and completely, make your gun useless. So, alrighty, that does it for the MGTOW side. We'll jump over here to Odyssey. Got a Alucard 1776. He's asking for a singing pop and a straw. Well, I can't do the singing pop. Our battle dwarf over there can throw a straw. Instead of a singing, instead of singing pop, how about we do this?
No.
Yeah,
no.
we haven't moved over the singing pop to the StreamYard.
No, not yet.
Scene collection.
Fun times. And then he returns with, thanks, Pop, for teaching me this, and they are behind you. They don't exist.
That's right. Listen, that relieves so much stress in my life because I used to be one of those guys who used to get pissed off. I'd get angry over one car length. I mean, what is one car length? Like at 60 miles an hour, that's like a fraction of a second. Who fucking cares? Really? Why elevate your blood pressure, go through all of that turmoil, burn all of those calories, and destroy your insides over time simply because people are driving like assholes? If they're not hitting you, no big deal.
Mind
Go-
over matter.
Yeah.
I don't mind. You don't matter.
That's right. The minute you go around them, they no longer exist.
Yep.
It's pretty easy.
Agent of social media chaos coming in says, good news for anime fans and bad news for Hollywood. Japan has officially kicked Hollywood's collective ass at the box office since the #1 movie this past weekend was an anime movie called The Boy and the Heron, which was made by Hayao Miyazaki.
Just
Sorry.
Japanese name. Just say Japanese name. If you can't pronounce it, Japanese name. That's it.
Nande? Nihongo wa nashite dekimasen.
Dumbo Origato, Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Really
Let's
passionate.
get a Alucard coming back with 2 in a row. It says his first one: learning how to grow how to grow turmeric and ginger to make tea.
Yes, that's very healthy.
Damn right.
Yeah, very good for you. Very good for you.
And the second one comes back, says that the United States government declared the Manosphere a terrorist organization.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
And we're a terrorist because we're speaking the truth.
Yep.
Simple as that.
But that's what terrorist means now in Webster's
Yes.
new dictionary. You terrorist and it says truth.
They both start with a T. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's see. We've got a J Fox with a $5. Says we mentioned this earlier, and I just wanted to share a data point that I always found interesting. Look at the numbers on this page showing how many feminists by religion.
Ooh.
It is a Wikipedia page. Let's see.
Oh
Bring
my.
that up.
Can you pull it up?
I can pull that up quick. Let me bring it up in Brave here real fast because that's
Can you put it on
Yeah.
the screen?
yeah. I got 2 browsers open at the same time here. So
That's what she said.
I said two browsers, not 2 holes.
Okay. Whatever you say.
All right, here we go. All right, this is categories: feminist by religion.
Mm.
Got a atheist feminist with 52%. Got a Baha'i feminist with 8%. Buddhist 20%. Proponents of Christian feminism 5 and 57%. Hindu females 4%. Islamic feminism.
Wow, 102.
Jewish feminists 333.
That's not percent. It's something else.
Yeah. What's the numbers there? What are we looking at?
I have no idea what the P means.
Let's see. It's a container category.
She said-
Scope sheet only subcategories.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but even if it's
But
not
your point
percentage,
is made. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you can still see here. You got the Jewish feminists, which are huge, and they're providing a lot of the money to the left, which hates them.
Yes.
So that's going to blow up in everyone's face.
They are, and I've met them. I met them back in the 90s, and I remember just being appalled and fascinated in that way you stop to watch a car crash.
Yeah.
I met militant lesbian Jewish man-hating feminists. And I was like, well, but why though? What has any of that accomplished for you?
Well, normally it doesn't take them anywhere good. All right, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
No. All right. Let's see. Jump back over here. Got Chief Kickabitch of the Slapaho Nation. Love that guy. No homo. Says, don't trust anyone who claims to be a trad wife. They are every bit of as much as chameleons as the church thoughts are.
That's right. Listen, messing with women today is the equivalent of walking through a minefield. It only takes one misstep, and either you die or you lose a lot of your body. It's not worth it.
Now, I don't know if this is a unicorn or not, but I know a real trad wife, and I talk to her quite a bit because she's part of our county. She is a trad wife in every sense and had 8 kids.
Okay.
And is currently enjoying, I think, grandkid number 11 at this point in time.
All right.
And
Damn.
she is like, she might as well have been born in 1930.
Well, I'm sure she has one well worn out whistle sack.
She's whatever. They're happy.
Yeah.
They're happy. Her husband is a riot. He's a 23-year MP.
Yeah, one of my
24
former
years.
commanders had 8 siblings, and I made the whistle sack joke to him.
Yeah.
He was laughing his balls
Yeah.
off. He almost
Nice.
fell on the ground.
So they do exist, but they are rare.
Yeah.
Yep. Very rare. So you've got a woo woo coming in. He says, invite Ryan Dawson onto the show if you want to talk about Ukraine, Russia, Israel, or Israel. He is an accomplished historian with multiple documents on NUMEC, 9/11, Civil War, and also shout out to that Twitter X Fox News guy for talking about Coach Red Pill in Ukraine about his radio silence.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm worried about him. I hope he's okay.
I'm trying to keep my ears to the ground and keeping the feelers out, but I'm not hearing very much.
No. And
So that's the journalist who's stuck in the Ukraine and has disappeared, right?
well,
Yep.
he moved there before.
He moved there. It's kind of a whole nut roll that.
Yeah.
Because he moved over there, then the whole shebang kicked off. He was doing his journalistic instincts.
Uh-oh.
He discovered some things, and let's
Boom.
just say
Wow.
he got a visit from the Ukrainian feds.
Yeah. Vada voom, vada ving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whip me, spank me, can't.
That's
Yep.
bad. Yeah.
We got
All right, next one.
a couple more last over here on Odyssey. We got Colonizer Grind Set with $3. Says, what's, quote, winning in this case? Sorry, not sorry, but fuck Israel and the Middle East in general. Send our troops to the southern border instead. That's where the invasion of military-aged men is.
That's absolutely correct.
Absolutely correct.
Yep,
Wow.
that is true.
Yep.
Let's see, got a last one over here. Got a Chief Kick-a-Bitch coming back. Says, I just got done with the monthly school board meeting. Fucking collectivists and their corruption of education. I'd love to see these equity enthusiasts suffer from their evil in the world, not destroy generations of kids all over the Western world. I can't do this shit alone. Run for office.
I got you, but I myself could not run for office because of all the material I've done online. It would just rip me apart.
Yep, and I'm too honest. I have a hard time, shutting my.
And
Oh,
let's be
what-
honest. Yeah, that's not part of my mission set.
I am
Nope.
the back end researcher for our county up in Lapeer, and we have actually taken back the entire county.
Good.
All of it, the whole thing. We have it from top to bottom. We have one position left, and that's the library director.
Get rid of that fucker.
Yeah.
Flush him. All right,
Or-
move on to the
yeah.
next one. Let's
Go
get
ahead.
this.
All right, let me jump back through here. I know saw one from Mando that I missed. He was asking a couple questions here. What that discussed at dinner? Was that discussed at dinner or supper? We know hobbits and dwarves like to eat. By the way, I was a semi-phobit as well during my deployment.
Take your cheap shots. Take your cheap shots. I love them. Bring them on.
Good burn. Good burn. I like it.
Yep. Like I said, Mando's ex-military as well, so he knows how to dish it out and take it as well.
Yeah.
It's all good,
Yeah.
man.
All right. Just scrolling through, and good Lord, you guys are active on the goodies tonight on MGTOW. Holy shit!
That's,
There's
to set the bar. My daughter once said to me and Pop, she called us her two gay dads.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That's how high the bar is.
Oh my God. I remember I'm sitting in the car. She says that. I'm like, you and I were like just hysterically. And she was what, 15, 14?
14, 15 years
Yeah.
old.
We're like,
You're like my two gay dads.
like that's it. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, that was like a 9.7 quality burn. I mean, 2 for 1, cluster bomb, setup, boom. That was great.
let's see, got one in from I'm gonna have to be careful with this screen name. This fucking forget choice name there. $2 says Russia pulled away from Kiev due to a tentative peace deal. Boris Johnson flew in soon after Ukraine and Russia came close to the deal, and then all of a sudden Ukraine passed a law banning peace deals with Russia.
Well, here's another thing in regards to that. The whole Kiev invasion started off in the very beginning while they were still under the illusion that they could operate as brigade combat teams, and it rapidly fell apart. That's one of the main reasons that failed. If they would have just started off with the ground and pound and slowly worked their way down, it'd be a whole different animal today.
Yeah, that sounds about correct. I would.
Oh wow, we got on YouTube. We got $100 super chat.
Looks like
Whoa!
that's.
We got a
holy
25
shit! Let me pull that up real fast.
Ugh.
Oh shit! All right, let's see. You got our man $100 over on YouTube, so we need to play it. Where's it at? Where's it heading at?
We're not worthy.
There it is.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Dude, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thank you. Says Pop, I got your books, The Warrior's Way, and The Soldier's Soul, and Showdown about 2 weeks ago. I'm almost finished with The Killer of Killers, which I've had for a while. Loving it so far. Now I want to get my hands on some administrative violence.
Yep. Listen, if more people were armed with the administrative violence information, your lives would be completely different if you step in a divorce court, especially if you take all of the steps prior to that happening. Devastating.
Yep. All right, let me jump over here on Rumble. I know the chat's still working, but the video feed's all kind of fucked up for that. But I got Broken Pine 284, $25. Says, take my money for a good cause. Keep dudes alive. Infantry make shit happen.
Yeah.
7.
I like it.
And to give you guys an idea where some of this money is going, recently we were contacted by a local TV station that's going to help Redonkulas market out to a lot of the military bases and everything. And there is a commercial being filmed.
It's already filmed. It's in editing.
Oh, it's in editing.
It's in editing now.
That's the kind of thing every little dollar buys. We managed to get stuff like that done. The TV station is actually cutting us an enormous break on the price, and it's local Fox 2.
Yeah.
So it's a serious TV station. It's not like some local, strange webcast with two old army guys sitting and making dick jokes and throwing straws at each other.
And here's the funny part. I've been trying to get advertising in front of veterans and servicemen for about a year.
Yeah.
All right. Stars and Stripes would not allow me to do any ad for redonkulas.com, bar none. They said, and indirectly, they said it was not politically correct. All right. Same thing with Military Times, except they basically just ignored me or quoted me prices that were just astronomically unreasonable. They care more about political correctness than they do about the fucking tidal wave of motherfucking suicides that are taking place year after fucking year since 2001.
Yep.
So next time you're in the PX, don't buy their fucking fag rag. Fuck them.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
I think that calls for one of these.
I'll take it.
Fag rag. That's good. Let's see. All right, I'm just jumping back and forth, making sure that we don't miss any chats, especially over on Rumble, because I know shit's kind of fucky.
Yeah. Listen, Rumble's under attack. What are you going to do?
Yep. Professor Blake, Poo Ass Blaster 3000, the dollar says, woke Harvard just lost $1 billion.
That's fantastic.
Yep. And you can
as soon as I saw the Palestinian protests and all the shit going on these colleges, I'm like, that money's going to dry up.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
All right.
Well, it's not like one of their main donors is just so happens to wear a small hat or anything like that.
Yeah, I got you.
Just saying. So, all right, we'll jump over here on YouTube. I think got a few over there. Cliff3188 with $1.99 says, "Have some singles and keep dancing." Billy Deepfake. Oh, I don't know what Deepfake is. Maybe we'll play one of those before we call it a night here. We'll burn through these real fast. We've got a couple emails and some memes to go through as well. Got a D Duran, $9.99, his first chat ever. So thank you for joining us tonight, good sir. Says, retiring from the Air Force in June. What's going to be the impact of our shit recruiting on our future projection of power? They think they might call me back if poop hits the fan.
Yes, even I will get called back. and I'm like medically fucked 3 ways to Sunday. They'll stick me behind their desk or put me in a training capacity.
Yep.
That's just the way it is.
Yep. I got Alex Badino here with $10. Says in 1917 there was an American officer in France acting as an observer. He was a cavalry officer, and when he saw tanks in action, he saw them as horses. His name was Captain George S. Patton Jr.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Can I throw a historical anecdote out there?
Sure.
The famous Polish cavalry charge against tanks. Everybody laughs and makes that the Poland's the butt of the military jokes and all this. I know what actually happened there. The German tanks were about to overrun the Polish infantry, and the cavalry was the Polish officers. In order to save the Polish infantry, the cavalry officers mounted an obvious suicide charge against the tanks.
Correct.
To stall them just long enough for the infantry to get away. And that's the true story behind that.
Behind the Polish
Bottom
charge.
3 seconds.
Yep. All right. Continue on. Next one.
All righty. I think we got one last one here over on MGTOW.tv. Again, I got to be careful with this one. This fucking forgets. That's that damn good scream name, man. I'm gonna have to give you a round of applause for that. Has the brigade style or whatever Russia tried copying ever been tested in modern warfare that wasn't a first world nation against sand or jungle people?
No.
Doesn't seem the NATO training did Ukraine jack shit. Even the Yukis said they were taught for the wrong warfare.
That's actually a very common problem. I mean, you train for the last war, not for the current war, because that's just the way it goes.
All righty. I did promise that we got some memes here to end off the night here. So we gotta end off things on a bit of a light note here. Let's see if I can figure this fucking out. Here, mess up here.
It's a learning curve, bro.
Make sure.
Learning curve.
Well, that and running two browsers here. All right, there we go. Now we can bring it up here. All righty. Exempt from Biden's vaccine mandates. Congress, legislation branch, Congress staff, judicial branch, White House staff, CDC, FDA, USPS, NIAID employees, Pfizer, and Moderna.
Yep. Basically, the entire government.
I wonder why they did that.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, got a Matrix meme. Once the people are made aware of how the trick works, they will always lose power over them. This is why it is important that we share knowledge of the psychological warfare trick that is being used against us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely correct.
100%.
And I believe most of those people are meme makers and shit posters. Get your news from memes, because memes will never lie to you.
True story.
That's right.
It's a true story. Yep.
See, we the people could squash them like a bug. We could, but well, we're fat, lazy, and unmotivated to do so.
Well, you just wait till the food runs out.
Oh.
And you're going to see some shit.
Yeah. See, and see, he's got the. Let's see if I can bring this. Let's see if I can zoom in on this one a little bit closer here. It's like the people versus the globe.
Plus key.
Is that working? Control plus. There it is.
There we go. Got the people versus the globalists. Of course, it's got still kind of hard to read on that one. A little bit of a small one, but
all right. Well, it is what it is.
I think we get the point. Which side are you on? Freedom, slavery? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on the side of freedom, man. I'm not playing that game.
Yep.
I'm on the Tree of Liberty side right now, and it needs to be refreshed.
Yep. There was one more in there though. Perfect security sign doesn't protected by fuck around and find out surveillance.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. Hell yeah. All righty. Bring that back out. All right. Let's see here. I think there was one more email in there. Let me take a look here. Oh yeah, we had Crazy Uncle's email here. Let me
Look over on Rumble really fast there.
Rumble. Looking over on Rumble. Let's see here. Holy fucking balls. Alrighty. Let me scroll up just a little bit here. Make sure. Alrighty. We got Pop R Bop. Holy fucking shit. You are a scholar and a gentleman with $200.
Whoa! Thank you so much.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
We are absolutely not worthy. Thank you so much for
Thank you
that.
so much, man.
Enjoy, fellas. Keep saving lives. Hell yeah. All right, we got the Salty Mandalorian 1776, $10. Says former Army cavalry tanker. There is a load plan for infantry on the M1. So top, there is a spot on my tank if you ever need a ride. Tanks lead the way.
Listen, I in the 9th Infantry Division, I did spend time riding on the back of several M60 tanks and cooking my food on their engines, warming up in their exhaust. Great time now that I'm looking back on it, but while it was happening, not so much fun.
I got to do that once in Korea when we were alongside a 2-tank.
Yeah.
I believe you have a saying for that though, Pop. Is it embrace the suck?
Yeah.
Well,
that's not my saying. That's a saying across the entire military.
I wish it would suck more.
Yeah. Well, that's the Marines.
That's what I asked my ex-girlfriend, and then she dumped me shortly after.
That's a good point.
Well, what are you gonna do? Shit happens.
Let's see. Crazy Uncle, you had an email in there. I did not forget about you, good sir. I got it pulled up. Blake isn't here, but first things first. Blake, since you are someone who wears glasses, have you ever done the push the center of the glasses up with the middle finger in school recently? I don't see that done often anymore. Second, I attached the short I wrote for you guys. Also, if you decide to read it out instead of putting it on the board, make sure you get the first time reaction on film. If it's on the board, please have a drink and color commentary on standby. Third, I'm wondering if you guys heard the interview with Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson. If so, I have to ask if you think the number of drugs El Presidente is on seems accurate. I know less than squat about chemicals, but your thoughts on the matter would be interesting.
Well, my grandfather passed away at 82, right around 72 years of age. He literally had his entire bedside table was like 14 or 15 different medications. Some he would take in the morning, some he would take out, keep in his pocket, he would take during the day, and then some he took right before he went to bed. So I can believe it.
Yep.
And he was a hypochondriac and all that other shit.
Yep. And he's got one more paragraph here. He says, final thought of the email. With the new year coming up, no, I did not misspell that. He spelled it the way you would think it would. How long do you think the fatties are going to be at the gym and get in the way of everyone else before they give up and head to McDonald's before, after, or instead?
21 days.
I give the first round of quitters a week at best. Second round of limp dicks might make it a month. The kicker is after the few and the pound, make it a few of the past 3 months. They usually quit right before beach season. Why? So they can just be just as miserable as their fat friends. Misery loves company.
The average length that like people who make these New Year's resolutions in the gym last 21 days.
Yep. Misery loves company, which is another phrase that was specific to women that has invaded male spaces. Have a good night, you gargantuan, goose gobbling, twisted taint teasers.
Damn.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. I'll take it.
I'll take it too. That's good stuff.
And this is his short that he came up with. So the retribution coitus. What to consider before you put your dick in the back bear trap. Nice. Reasons why you get the opportunity. Slingback. Talk about an episode. Slingback. Use at least one clip here. Wants to cheat on her new partner. In today's day and age, she might have jumped the fence. Is now is washing day pussy with her tongue. depression, wants to get the feeling of what it was like before she threw everything away.
Oh my God.
Be aware of head meds, weight gain and loss, recent kids, etc., etc. This is common when they have begun to hit the wall at ludicrous speed. Dared by frenemies. Warning, danger, Will Robinson. Danger, Will Robinson. That's a trap. In
like
trouble. Most common, extended below. Pros, you can get your dick moisturized. Any clear blockages you may have after not getting any British Army vehicles a snatch in a while. Make sure you put a picture of the vehicle here.
It's a slump buster.
Ugh. Closer. If she just disappeared, some men might think they need to just get it out to close off their hidden emotions. Sack up and go to the gym.
Yeah, true story.
True story.
Revenge on her cheating. In other words, don't be a quitter. Hit her in the shitter. Call it day.
All right.
She might say that it feels bad for cheating. Nope. She's just using you until someone else comes along. And then we go to the cons. She has a high chance of becoming clingy. She has been run through by not just the football teams, but the entire fucking stadium. Then she knows she is walled out, stalled out shadow of the woman she was. She is using this to try and rope you back into the toxic relationship.
500 miles of Mr. Right.
Yeah, we covered this one many times.
FYI, the phrase once a cheater, always a cheater was originally said for women. Why? Men who cheated back in the day would find one side of the family ready to make sure that you never strayed again. Someone would fall down the stairs in a one-story building.
Yeah.
This is a classic slingback situation. If she knows you are her last shot, she will make it impossible for you to even talk to women you may have at work. FYI, women get very territorial around the man they are scared to lose, violently so. Yeah. I think we can burn
How
through
many
this real
pages
fast.
then? We can't read the whole thing.
Yeah, that's quite the read there.
Yeah. All right, we'll just go ahead and finish it up with the summary. Summary is
Email me this document and I will put it on my website.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yep, it's in your email, Pop. That's where I pulled it up. But the summary, is it worth it? Only if you're fucking stupid. Remember that she broke up with you, and when it comes to relationships, women will never do anything without return. Just like all the men that got divorce papers as soon as they lost their job.
Yep.
Save your sanity, save your health, save your money, and save your soul, and send them packing with their dignity, self-respect, and hubris in a sling.
I like it.
Yep, Pop, that is in your email there under Crazy Uncle.
All right.
You'll be able to see it there. All right, let me double check. Make sure I'm not missing anything else. I did see we got a Cash App. Yep. We got a Cash App from Traveler 4444 or $20. Says just for thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Let's see. Is there another one here? Making sure I don't want to miss anybody. It doesn't look like that's it right there. Jump over to YouTube here. Let's see. You got Purple Lean Crabs at $2. If Moderate America represents you, you are the enemy.
Wow.
It's true. It's true, though.
Yep. Is that it? We got all the super chats?
Let's see. Nothing else new on a Rumble there. Scroll through the MGTOW chat and try not to get distracted by the taps going on. What? Oh, my God. Yeah, she definitely drank that whole bottle. Yeah, you can put two and two together and you'll get a full
let's keep it reasonably kid safe there.
Yeah. So all righty, yep, that is nothing else new on MGTOW, and Odyssey is all caught up. So I believe
safety briefing.
We are done for the night, gentlemen. Pop, we need a safety briefing.
All right, first on Pop here. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. It doesn't work out. If you have to have sexual relations, wear a condom. Take the condom with you or flush it down the toilet and make sure it goes all the way down, because fun and games ensues with that kind of stuff. Times are getting violent. People are packing up. You need to pack up, rack up, stack up, travel in groups, and keep your head on a swivel, because shit is probably going to get real. Be safe. stay alive. And I'm sick and tired of burying you sons of bitches. So watch my shit and my show. Pick your poison. The shit is if you hate me. The show is if you like me. And perhaps maybe some of the lessons will help you at a time of your greatest need. All right.
Anything to add to that, Mr. Battledorf?
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Pattern is full. All righty, gents. Well, I believe we are done for the night. Call it a night. We'll catch you on Thursday.
All right. Take it easy.